In this tutorial in Cyberlink PowerDirector, we're going to look at a new feature for subscribers of 365 as of the summer of 2025. The feature is called Autoedit. Now it's an AI feature, but it doesn't involve any credits. So currently there's no charge to you. What it does is it allows you to create a minimal project very quickly. It will intelligently add titles, transitions, and other elements to your project that you can edit and change any way you want. So let's look a little bit at what this feature is and how it works. There are two ways to get to it. The first way is to open up the splash screen and click on the box that says Auto Edit. Now there may be a time when this doesn't stay here, and then we can maybe click on the other options here. It'll be here also under my toolbox. But I'm going to just start a regular project empty and show you how to get into it by door number 2. And that's simply to click on the Tools menu in the upper left corner, and then you click on Auto Edit. So let's do that. Now this screen will pop up, and you'll probably not want to show this one again. I'll click on OK for now. I don't want to learn more about it. I'll show you about it right now. Now you notice it says a couple of things in the middle of the screen. The maximum number of files you can use, that is a total of video and the total of image files, is 20. So you can have all image files, all video files, or you can mix and match. The maximum clip length is 10 minutes per clip. So those are your only limitations. So the first thing you want to do is you decide your aspect ratio down at the bottom. It shows you what media you've imported. Right now I'm 0 out of 20. Now I can make this full screen if I want, but for simplicity we'll go back to the normal size screen. I'm going to import my media. I'll click on the import media, and in this case I'll do a folder, and I'll navigate to the folder where I want my media. Now I'm clicking on select folder, and it imported this. Now you notice in this particular folder I just did a random selection of pieces of media. Some of them are images, some of them are videos. The next thing you want to do, if you look at the top, it says drag the clips to arrange the order of your video. Well, I want the horses on the beach to be the last thing, so I'll move this one over here. Again, you can enlarge the window if you have more. We're using this just because it's easy to record. Yeah, I can take an image like this one and move it between two movie clips. You can adjust this any way you want. So maybe I want these two reversed over here, and so that gives me a way in which I can modify it. So the first task, pull in your media. If I want extra media, what I can do is simply click on the Import Media button again. If I have something here I don't want, if I highlight it in the upper right corner, there's a garbage can icon. I click on that and it will remove it. Of course, I can add it later if I change my mind. I have 12 elements rather than 20. That's sufficient for me right now for this tutorial. So let's see what happens next. Once I have the media in the order I want, I click on the Create button in the lower right corner. I want to verify that with the aspect ratio of the project, I'm going to keep mine at 16:9. It analyzes this. Now what it tries to do is it looks at the content of your videos and your images to try to come up with titles. It will also add transitions. It will also add some other elements that you would put on different timeline tracks. It will add a background music. Now it's playing it. Let's listen. Okay, this is what it looks like when you take one of the templates and apply it. Now the good news is you can change everything it's done. You can, if you don't like the music, if you don't like the transitions, you can change everything, but it gives you a start, which is kind of interesting. Now what about this panel on the left? The panel on the left gives us 25 different templates we can apply, and that will give us different transitions. It will give us different kinds of elements. It will not change the order here. It will not change the content of the material that you've already put here. But you can do other things as well. If I right click, for example, on this one, I can replace the media. So I decided, I don't want this one. I want something else. So that will take me to my file system, and I can decide I want something else. We'll close that one out. I can also select the range if I'm on a video clip. So I click here, and it gives me a range that I can choose. I can scrub through it and change the range that I want to use, and then click on Apply. We'll cancel out of that. The other thing I can do is I can click on the title, and I can change this. I can change Ocean Fun, and if I right click on that again, I can move it. And I can change all the features of it, the family. I can change the color, all these other elements, the size, any feature I want. So you can do some basic title editing here. It says you can add a title, but I haven't figured out how to do that. I would rather do that on the timeline instead. You can work with title editing. You can work with changing the duration of your video clips. If I right click again, I can also crop and rotate. So I can click here, and it takes me to my crop and rotate, and I want to maybe zero in on just part of this scene here, and now I've cropped that video. So those are some of the options. You can also use the buttons at the top. Again, they're sensitive in relationship to the content below. They will gray out if they do not apply. Of course, we do not have a range on an image clip. So that gives me the option of doing that. If I click the three dots, I still get the replace media or crop and rotate. So I do have some modifications I can use here. If I want to change the template again, I can change it as often as I want. Now, when I'm done with this basic editing under the artificial intelligence mode, I can have two options in the lower right corner. I can export it, which would simply create a video that I can use, or I can add it to the timeline. I think most users will want to add to the timeline. So let's do that. And we're adding it to our timeline here. And now we see everything that it's been doing. I'm going to enlarge my tracks so you can see we have lots of tracks here. If we look here, here's a crop and rotate. And here it's done some rotating and cropping. Let's enlarge it this way. In some cases, it adds here's a film roll transition. I can change that if I want. Here's another film roll transition. So you can do all the modification you want. It's selected the audio track, the sound track, and it looks like it had to repeat it from the beginning here. If I don't like it, I can mute it. I can replace it. I can change anything else I want to. This efix, I'm wondering what that is. Oh, okay. That's where it's taken these and it's put them in this template here. Okay. So I can turn that off. I can change things any way I want. You can do normal PowerDirector editing once you're on the track. And when you're satisfied with what you've done and how it's started, you simply can click on export and you can produce it any way you want. But that's a little look at this auto edit function. For those who want to experiment with new things, it will also show you some techniques perhaps that you can use in your own editing that you might not have thought of. So it has some very interesting potential, I think. So that's the first look at using the auto edit function in Cyberlink PowerDirector 365.